So, game number 1. I didn't pay attention of who goes first.
Yeah, so Pepe will be going on blue coin here, probably seeing the knight. Actually, without the Arendite, you have a bit more flexibility of what coin you want to play the knights on. Probably still likes the blue coin as more of an engine deck, but we could also maybe see the rain on blue coin as well. Whereas Gandalf going second with the red coin. Cultists would probably be fine on red coin, I'd say.
Are you
Skellige,
in or
fine.
not?
I think I need to do F5.
Yeah, because we already got the... So this is PepeSmile taking Syndicate on blue coin versus Gandalf's Skellige on red.
Of course, it's the one deck I didn't mention that Pepe was going to take on blue coin. So maybe I'm not such a good clairvoyant. It just starts with the open sesame. And, oh god. This is going to be fun with no coins on the side. I'll maybe try to keep notes. So that was 6 coins.
Yeah, I have, so you can ask, at least on the stream, you can see that I got in without the problem. There was an issue for you for some reason.
Great.
But I don't think I'm gonna be jumping to share the screen with you, because that might just freeze your camera and all that.
Yeah, so you see a very early Horson coming down, deciding that Armored Drakar is quite scary. I just want that going straight away. But also this hand is quite awkward, because the only spender is this Oxenfurt Guard, which it kind of needs adjacent units to actually spend. And I guess Horson is considered less valuable than the rest of the gold units in hand for PepeSmile here. Just see the Maxi coming down. Not a great deck, I would say. Wouldn't be surprised if you see a shuffle.
Yeah, most likely gonna want to redo his deck after seeing the bronzes. Well,
see a bank.
Yeah, we see a bank because a spender was necessary, but this is a very deep hiding brawler. Of course, you have the Eventides above it, but all that can be mastered here. Oh, I guess that works since your first Oxenfurt Guard survived.
Go for a bit of protection. We might be seeing a Temper boss, perhaps?
He might still want to play the second Sesame, so...
Yeah. And it works quite nicely with the Temple Guard as well, the second Sesame here. And I don't think, especially with the Drakar gone already, yeah, if you want to contest, you need to commit something like the Sigvald here. The Marden would have worked quite nice with the Sigvald, but we don't see a clash, and you on board, and you can only really get the Canute through the Neomancy. So yeah, as you said, second Sesame played, Temple Guard spending quite nicely here.
Yeah, so we do see Oniro here, and it goes for the location. So location committed in round 1. So the clash gonna be available. There are a couple of toll units, but you might opt for killing that spender. Yeah, well, Gandalf is pretty certain with what's happening that there is some spending issue.
Yeah.
There is no hiding that information.
Oh yeah, like you don't bank for a Eventide plunder unless you're really desperate here. But there's not... like, you don't need to spend too much at this point, because... well, I don't think you have that much more coin generation. In fact, I don't think you have much reason to stick around here.
Yeah, with this hand, I think you run away.
Yeah.
And Martyrdom is enough. There is also an order on the warrior on the board, so...
Yeah, I mean, and if you didn't pass there, then you would have been playing into a Martyrdom being used there with the Clash and the Sigvald, probably wipes out, say, the Horson or the Disciple. that's a huge point swing, and you're probably looking at a loss on even at that point. But the scary thing now is that this location is floating on board now, and if we do see a bleed coming, which I expect a bleed to come through, it'll be quite difficult to establish a board into this clash.
Yeah, pretty good hand for Skellige as well. So yeah, we see that Olgierd feels quite immortal and wants to get into the battle immediately. So yeah, right.
So
Prime target for clashing here.
Yeah. So you see the Azar coming down, because the totem isn't on board yet. The Azar is safe against the Svarblod in that the scarabs won't be dealt with straight away. This gives PepeSmile a chance to maybe play the candle behind the scarabs this turn, boost them up a bit, and the candle, if played behind the scarabs, is also protected from this verification in hand for Gandalf, which definitely will just be going onto the candle as soon as it comes down, if possible.
But now, yeah, we do see the totem and almost full commitment to the round. So how much do you boost your scarabs? What's the most awkward thing to do? I guess with the clash, yeah, it's impossible to avoid both of them being killed, so we'll probably see Knut here and the location clash clearing it, yeah. But at least it wasn't your Exora or ship, so you should be kinda happy.
Yeah. Like, it's not great that the scarabs are gone, but they've done their job of, like, base tanking a bunch of the removal from the side of Gandalf. Because now, well, there's not actually any more targeted removal beyond this Canute. But the problem is, you can't really kill this Canute right now. You could maybe try and high roll a back row Shady Vendor into Payday.
We see that line being taken, but yeah, the best you can get here is the Purge. So Hysteria first would have been better on the hindsight. So yeah, instead of that, we just see more open sesames being created. Let's see, what are they on? 3, 5, and 6 now.
Ooh.
Continent folk will never understand.
And developing the Sigward here is really, really nice for Gandalf, because you can, when you want to decide to get out of the round, you can just click the Sigvald, target the Olgierd, and all this bleeding will turn into boost. In the meantime, you're getting a lot of damage in engine value with the Canute, where basically, not only does it do damage, but the supposed damage you're doing to Sigvald is eventually going to turn into points as well. This is, yeah, quite awkward, because you can develop the Hysteria here, which you can finish off with the Exora next turn. But not if your candle is gone.
Yeah. So now you overprofit whatever you are trying to do, and also your Exora and ship are not doing much. So you just hope for your Jacques to survive.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think there's the only way Jacques would die here is to a heat wave. That's the only thing that would actually kill it right now.
So let's see how much Pepe is buffing it by. Goes to 10. And
If
yeah,
you, I can't say I love buffing this King of Beggars very much, because you're just playing into the Svarblod, and actually no, I guess it's fine. You need to play like this because otherwise the blob would be able to potentially clean up both the Jacques. Well, the blob would kill the King of Beggars, and then you could also finish off the Jacques with the Canute. Yes. So this is necessary, even though you're playing into the Svarblod very, very badly here.
Also opening, like cleaning your coins is very nice, because Well, that's full blood combined with double proc skill in the Knut, right? So you get your points. Ah, okay, yeah, that's
Another way to do it.
that's
He
another
decides
way.
not to trigger the blob. And with no spender remaining, this is just it for PepeSmile. All these urban sesames in the graveyard, they don't mean anything, because... yeah.
So yeah, his hand was too good for round 1 and lacking proper spending capabilities. Like he nicely tried to avoid the scarabs being killed, but yeah, this Skellige has many ways of combining things. If their own like damage engine, so to say, are sticking to the board.
Yeah, and just struggling for spenders was just the theme for Syndicate that game. Had to play Bank to even get a spender, like another spender in the round 1. Had to, well, struggle to even spend coins in the round 2 over profiting so much. And that's why, like, even if the verification feels really bad, like it's playing for negative points onto the candle, A, it's important because you make the spending awkward. B, it's important because you stop the opponent being able to protect key threats. And C, it also kind of doesn't matter because if you play a Spellblood, the Betty spawned on the opponent's side, it's going to just be taking a bunch of damage anyways. You're not really spawning a 6 on their side. If your blob fully triggers, it's more like a 2-point spawn on their side, which doesn't matter as much.
Okay, so now we see the Cultists against the Knights, and didn't Knight deck really struggle against the Cultists, or am I imagining things? I think that might have been an issue for them.
Yeah, you're saying Cultists should win this?
I'm trying to remember how it went in the previous seasons when that was the... I might be thinking of the Dead Wish matchup, so yeah.
I don't see, like, if you're just talking strictly engine value, nothing outscales Cultists. So, yeah, actually, there is a win con. There is a Quux. And you know what the highest provision cost card in Gandalf's deck right now is?
A Fawn should be it?
Yep, it's a Fawn, I believe. A Fawn at 10 provision. So, the Fawn will get summoned by the Quux, which leaves the... Actually...
Yeah, but is there a verification?
Oh, no heat
because
wave.
there is no heat wave. Yeah.
No heat wave, no verification. That's how you're able to fit in the Quux and the Regis. You cut the heat wave. So it doesn't matter. You don't need to 1-turn proc the scenario because it's completely safe. I was like, maybe there's a nice little win condition, but yeah.
Gravish is here scouting his opposition maybe in the future rounds and being surprised by the Regis Knights. Well, see? He's riding the horse. Oh, Regis on a horse. Easy. And yeah, their fun is out.
Yeah, I think that was a misplay here to infuse the fun. At least, or Gandalf is expecting that he will have to play the scenario this round. Because if you are planning on playing the scenario here, then yeah, sure, infuse the Afan knowing that the Quux is going to come out.
Okay, so we see Lady of the Lake tutoring here.
Go Echo into First Knight.
Exactly. And both knights were in the deck, so you tutor one of them, and you got yourself a beautiful 20-point bronze now. Are they scrying somewhere? Because she was not included into the list. She would have liked interacting with the 20-point knight, but even without her, that's nice to see. And
I think Gandhi did have the foresight here. But you know what the thing is, though, now that you've made this Regis into a bronze, it can now be infused in Vilgefortz. So if Gandalf really just wants to win this round, you can probably just win it with that combo.
Okay, so we got a bunch of infusions. Everyone is who is a cultist is also an engine by now.
Notably, you couldn't play a Pella that turn because it was locked up. So if you do want to collect on this infusion, you could Vilgefortz this turn. Is it yeah, it is a cultist. Would you rather Vilg or save the dandelion for later? Don't know. Yeah, I think you do have to take the Vilg.
And now you get a unit on the board, and you get a deacon, and your engines are going really crazy there.
And the problem here as well for PepeSmile is there's just no way for him to contest this round at this point. Your engines for a Knight's player, like you don't even have a Knight Errant on board right now. You have, sure, this Sardanian Knight, but like what does that even matter when there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different infusions, which are all boosting the unit by 2 whenever a cultist is played.
Okay, we see the Maiden's Shield being played out, but yeah, there is just too many cultists to fight against.
I mean, look, the Ale is very, very good here.
Yeah.
Counters the lock, helps you get the grace you need to get the Bronwyn Order out. The Bronwyn Order could be combined with the Vial next turn as well. Unfortunately, you don't have a Knight that is still to get its grace for you to release a leader on in combination.
Yeah, if you wanted points, you needed to use them like last turn on the Maiden's Shield, right? It was getting to 14 thanks to the infusion, but if you just wanted to get some points, you could have done that.
Yeah, I think if you really were trying to win this round, I think you should have leaded the Maiden's Shield, then use the Bronwyn infusion on the Redanian Knight. Because I think it was yet to get its grace, or did it get its grace already? I'm not sure. Maybe it had its grace already. Regardless, it probably doesn't matter.
But looking at the point gap, like you're just sacrificing your units here.
Look, what we're talking about here is we're talking about maybe if you play like optimally for the Knight side, you maybe get 10 more points, right?
Yeah.
What does 10 points matter here? It doesn't.
Mata was played, and it mattered a lot, indeed. It mattered for like 40 extra points.
Yeah. And like, okay. I guess the Mata did give PepeSmile a mad charge here, which can be combined with the Bronwyn infusion a little, but it's just, it really is just a drop in the ocean at this point. So Cultists win the round 1.
Yeah.
Which is...
spent a lot.
That's true, but you still have Operator.
Yeah.
Which, granted, can be countered by a Cursed Knight. So that is quite good. Yeah.
Okay, the Cursed Knight.
I mean, Knights still have their scenarios, and Cultists already used their scenario, so like, surely Knights is in a better place here, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Because that's how carryover works.
No!
Yeah. And speaking of carryover, cute little Vandergrift with the infusion that I believe was carried over from the round 1. Esquire clicked, but not actually used in the round 1, so it can actually be used in the round 2 instead.
So, Knights managed to carry over a scenario and a Vandergrift. And the
Yeah.
silly damn sorceress and immortals combo.
Look, if you're going into a long round against Cultists, you would have really liked the Bronwyn, the Maiden's Shield here at least. But if you don't have that, you do have a good number of engines. So,
Yeah. So, what are your
could be
predictions?
worse.
The point gap. How big will it be by the end of this 9-card round 3?
I mean, oh god, it's 100 points maybe.
Okay. So
I think that's
total
reasonable.
domination by the knights, you mean, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. I'm not
Oh
doing.
no, I'm in the Cultist.
I got him, Chad. Okay. So seeing everything is getting answered. You put a silly cultist on my side of the board. I just transform it. I have an engine working and another one ready to go.
I have a 20-point necromancy.
Yeah.
This is wait.
Oh wait.
No, they don't.
Why are there things jumping out of the?
Wait.
Wait.
PepeSmile mulliganed the Cursed Knight before. No, that made sense. The Nero was used in the round 2 anyways. Okay, never mind.
So yeah, there is no necromancy.
Yeah, it's
sadly.
fine. So Snow comes down. We have now any Grace will get an extra 4 points if there's units on both sides, which is nice. And the Sentry Knight as well could be triggered with the leader. I'm surprised we don't see PepeSmile playing more into the front row, because you really want to get these Knight Errants to have an infusion onto the Immortals, so that it gets even more boost each time the shield gets removed with the Damned Sorceress. Yeah.
And 10 into 0, perfection.
Yeah. Yeah, and Gandalf played the Illusionist before the battle stations to ensure that both the Nausicaa Brigades already came out, so that there wasn't any risk of breaking. And now you just get to play all your cards. In particular, having this Duchess's Informant is very, very nice, because it's a 1-power unit, which is quite threatening for these infusions to collect on.
Yeah.
But if you have 4 infusions, or like 3 infusions right now, you can res a 4th, I believe, with the Necromancy. Or you could just kill this with a...
Well, I guess Artorius was infused as well.
Okay.
So it just finishes the engine, and there is a small army of Knight Errants just teaming up together. And 100 points was already achieved.
Yeah, that's
That's funny, is all I can say.
okay, I changed my mind. I said it was going to be like 100 point gap. Let's maybe double that.
Double that. Okay. So we'll allow to change the prediction.
Thank you. And
Okay, crazy.
maybe it won't be that bad.
There is a Peller and a small While that is not really getting any points. There is no bronze on the front row though, so you cannot properly collect your last infusion there.
Help us! Drive away the hooligans!
Long live, etc.
Etc, etc.
Respect PepeSmile for still actually playing into this game.
He also wants to see the point gap by the end of it. Let's see. The engine's only buffing by like 3-5 points. It's not that crazy.
No, it's not too insane, I suppose. I mean,
Well, the knights also
who-
collected
that was-
100.
I mean, the Nordic Brigades are at a 5-point boost already. Like, it's. I mean, it is a lot of points each cultist that gets played here.
No, not the BM pass. Oh no, the disrespect. Pepe trying to play here, and what he gets in return. Gandalf, man. But only a 70-point gap, plus minus.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so that was a game to remember. If you ever wondered how knights are potentially doing against cultists in a long round
Just
with the scenario and their like crazy engines, well, you've seen it now. And we do see Syndicate, nice prediction, your clairvoyance is back by the looks of it. And yeah, with all the reins on the elf, like throws, this is scary, but yeah, Pepe cannot make any mistakes because every loss is just finishing the series. So he has spenders here, he has...
yeah, awesome.
Yeah, so the cargo, if that lands with the elves, well, yeah. Gandalf also very good with Angus and Vanadine, but those might just be answered.
The other thing here is there's no actually, yeah, with the brawler here, as long as PepeSmile has significant coins, you're able to basically kill whatever gets played here, whatever unit gets played before, like the Angus or the Vanadine. Could maybe even just not let there be a single unit on Gandalf's board, so you're able to border wipe either directly with the brawler or maybe developing your Exora as well. But there's no open sesames in hand for PepeSmile, so it's a bit less coins than
there
he
is
might
an
like.
arcane tome on your side of the board, so you can click that because well, Gandalf only has the waylays and purification,
which both are not particularly great. So yeah, I think it definitely would be correct to get an open sesame here from the tome. The question is, do you maybe combine it with like a brawler perhaps, or what's the go here?
Are you afraid of your brawler dying somehow? I don't really.
Yeah, no, it doesn't click tome.
Wait, it doesn't click. That's a bit surprising, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, look, where we can see both deck lists here, but like what's actually in the deck, but even just with the open deck lists, like, I don't think you're scared of what happens if Gandalf clicks a tome there. There was no downside, I think, for PepeSmile getting another open sesame. Or just not even another, just an open sesame.
The best he can get is you can use the purification on the cargo, right? And that just breaks the bare knuckle brawler. But on the other hand, you're not getting your candle transformed later on if you are scared of that. So, yeah.
And this is what I would have liked. I would have liked to have this bare knuckle brawler developed, because then you would have been able to board wiped here, and then you're just forcing Gandalf to delay being able to play his own units. Because if you're not going to be able to play Angus as the only unit on the board, if the brawler was staring it down, with potentially 7 coins to spend. But
okay, now there is 17 points that you need to wipe, so yeah, instead of that we do see Junior, and I guess you kill the token saboteur. Can be purified, I suppose.
You have Tiger's Eye to get the coins for the Moros. I think PepeSmile is just saw that he has the horse and Junior saw he has the Moros and it's like, I can just deal with the Angus, deal with the Vanadane with these two cards. I don't need to overspend on a brawler to stop Gandalf from developing his board here. Which I guess is fine.
Oh, this is my pointy-eared clumsiness at it again.
And now Gandalf just wants to make it awkward for
Once again,
before like
Pepe's hand is a bit too good.
Yeah.
And we see with the candle. So with the cargoes available, you can still threaten, so we'll probably see Vanadine coming out, right? Yeah.
And there is a Serpent Trap in hand here for Gandalf. If you're pinning PepeSmile as having at least one special in hand, this Serpent Trap is quite scary because you see how tall this townsfolk is right now. But Vanadane just getting a bunch of waylays in hand. You don't want to play these waylays, but you would actually like to replay the Vanadane if you can next turn as well.
Yeah, but if that's how you get your round win with the waylay, you always play it. That currently plays for what, 13 points. We see Morils. Morils doesn't find a better target in this match, so might as well spend it and claim your round win, most likely.
Yeah. And you see the King of Beggar refund coming through one by one. I mean, he's already refunded 11 coins so far this game, which has helped his townsfolk go super high. Must have made some like really good investments, I suppose, in the King of Beggars in the Putrid Grove Enterprises. Do you bleed here, Syndicate, do you think?
Well, the candle is there to activate the bleed, so I would assume, and yeah, we see instant Novigrad dropped.
Yeah, you've gotten at least a second heist out here if you want to pass. And you'd force Gandalf to play yet another card, or you can just develop the Ixora. Okay, I was gonna say, you can't just do that against a Serpent Trap. Even then I don't love this, because if this Serpent Trap gets played, you can't play another special this round. And you're like severely limited in where you can go.
No. Wait, and he keeps buffing her. Okay.
I don't know why you feel the need to go so tall on one unit here.
Well, the Seamless is what you're playing around, I suppose. 12 damage is 12 damage after all.
Okay, that's why. I wouldn't be putting that much stock into the Ixora here, though.
So now, can you buff enough? Can you buff enough of other units?
Yeah, I mean, you're
sacrifice.
But then, even then, you're losing what, more than 13 points here. That's not good.
That's what I mean. Like you don't really want to do that. But so far, pretty good for Syndicate. But yeah, they have no access to 2 out of 4 cards unless they want to sacrifice Ixora.
And look, you'd love to play a Smuggle here, just get a bit more coins, board wipe these neophytes, but there's some problems if you try to do that. Surprised we see the Jacques being played there before the Acherontia. I guess Acherontia could backfire if it gets a special.
It gets a special, so I guess this is where it ends. So Acherontia is still being played for 6 coins, and the other control is spent. You can do that. And, well,
Okay.
you still
You
have
forced the
Open
Similis.
Sesame.
Feign not
I guess
So
the-
2 spenders are dying, but there is another one. So you cannot get them. Oh wait, no, you cannot. There is only 4 waylays. Otherwise, you could have secured a kill with this serpent.
I don't think you're gonna play in. I don't think you. Okay, you do play
Okay,
both.
you do play, and now you spent with KOB and spent with your leader as well. Is this the plan?
You spend at least 2 more coins.
I think he kills another. Ah, wait, yeah. I
Oh,
think he kills
okay, you're gonna
another
go all
one
in with the
for
Open Sesame as
for
well.
Sesame as well. Yeah. I think what we are seeing here is not exactly an all-in, but close to that.
Feels pretty all in. Like,
Uh,
if you're using your open, if you're using your
okay,
leaders, you're using
so
your
there
Open
was
Sesames.
no special
Oh,
pulled.
gosh.
Was there many of
That
them
was-
available? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That was
And
more likely to get a special than not.
Wander is also a special, basically. Although, yeah, there was no coins for that.
Yeah. So, is this a tour? I'm not sure.
So back row Verno
'Cause- yeah.
into
Just
replay
play the
Verno.
near. Okay, play the Verno.
You have leader, you have double Isengrim. It
Yeah.
might be just
Double
enough.
Verno. Yeah, I think. Can you catch up if you play the Verno repeat with the Cargo and the Isengrim and leaders? Is that enough here? That's a lot of maths.
Okay, we see the special being played. That's not how I would have expected it to go, but wait, 13-13 and 50-51. Okay.
Okay.
A bank plate and the scorpion revealed, but the scorpion hits the wrong target. So yeah, this is I'll play everything type of situation.
Yeah.
No
And
hiding
yeah, now
from
you
that.
definitely go for the smuggle as well. You'll be able to get another kill with the Exora, get another trigger on the boat, and the boat might even get you enough coins to get another Exora. This might actually be the 2-0, and I think it has to be a 2-0 because if it's not, just Deception alone would win a short round.
You played this far, then I think there is no stopping now.
You're probably just thinking, how do I spend my coins? How do I want to go about this? Azar is probably not what you want here. You would have much preferred just, well, more coins.
Well,
But
he's
it is enough
with
to get
the
another Exora.
hold on the tribute, it's exactly enough for another Exora ping. Okay, so there is not much nothing to do. You just play your leader, Isengrim, and then you Stern play your
No,
9
it should be
point bronze.
short by a good amount still.
Yeah, a couple of like 9 points is what you are missing here. So
I mean that game came down to the 50-50 on the Exora there. If the Exora dies to the Serpent Trap, entirely different story.
yeah, a bit of
But
gambling.
yeah. Pepe stuck to his guns, was like, okay, I don't think I'm winning if I pass here. I need to keep going. I know you have a Serpent Trap, but I'm gonna still play into it. I'm gonna play past it, and just make the most of having both my Vice cards and having all these spenders on board.
Still,
Pride is
elves actually survive the stormy weather. It sounds like a pretty lovely matchup for Skellige, but at the same time you don't really have any means of dealing with the cargo usage on the elves. And also you get a fish in hand.
Yeah, you have a fish in hand, you have a roach in hand. These beasts you don't want in your actual hand. At least you have the Melusine, and the Tempest is not bricked. But yeah, if you want the round control, which I think the Rain does kind of need to get the round control in this kind of matchup, because if elves are able to just force a short round with the Simless, especially with no answer for this Vanadane, no answer for the Angus, I'm pretty sure they'll just end up winning.
Yeah, there is no heist, so that's pretty good for...
Yeah, actually, oh yeah, their
Pepe?
heist actually makes this winnable. So both players kind of not drawing the best.
Yeah.
They'll be forced to adapt, even with no Traherne in this game.
But makes for the better viewing experience, I'd say. How do you adapt
Exactly.
in this situation?
So, yeah, probably as soon as Gandalf plays another cargo card here, PepeSmile will know that there's just no access to the heist.
That's a deception if I ever seen one. Throw in a pretty powerful card in round 1.
Yeah.
But potentially just, yeah, sensing that you are not getting out of it cheaply.
No.
And this is a deck that
You
you don't
definitely-
want to lose round 1 to.
Yeah, and currently it's looking like you might even just be losing on even, perhaps. Because the Axel is quite good tempo, the Melusine is quite good tempo as well. Is there a Cultist in this deck currently? Melusine to refresh her order on?
Well,
I think
there is
it's
a
just
Bright
the Melusine
and the
Cultist. or the
Melusine
Bright.
Cultist, so 2 of them. But yeah, Axel sadly is only a druid. He was not taken into the cult. He's doing his weird crow thing instead.
Yes.
Now we will see who is weak.
And
So-
that is the
Now we will see who is
trap,
weak.
I believe.
So you see Deception, now you kind of know that this should be the Serpent, which limits your place on things like Tempest here. And you'd really want to obtain at least something out of your deck.
Yeah.
But you are losing your 11-point Melusine and you are losing your potential res carryover. There is no Squirrel in this Elves deck, so that would have been a nice thing to bring out. Okay, but...
This pass is actually quite nice because to get ahead, Gandalf actually needs to go 2 cards down. Ups not to just take a tie because then you're going into a long round. You're not able to actually set up your Vanadane to prepare your Simless, and it's just not what you want.
But still a bit
And-
problematic.
Yeah. And if you want to get the heist with the Vanadane together on a bleed, it means you're needing to go below 7 cards where you're potentially just even letting your opponent get like a, well, card advantage for free, basically. Yeah. But you would actually need to draw into the heist to be able to have that as a consideration here, which doesn't happen. So it's just the Vanadane.
Dwan will not be heard.
Purify gets put to the bottom of deck here because it's pretty useless without a heist. I guess it's nice to get through the defender,
Kiss my tail
but
goodbye.
should be able to find either the second sapper or wait. Oh yeah, the second sapper or the reorder to find the sapper instead. I think you have to bleed here though, as elves. I don't think you're winning a long round against Rain, especially when you have like no control. But at the same time, maybe you're just hoping I need to do what I can. this rain deck has a bunch of bricks. Maybe it has bricks. And we see here there is a roach hanging out in the left, just right near the Fukusha, the roach on top of a house. On top of a house made of bricks, because it's giving PepeSmile quite a bad brick here.
Okay, so Chip Cultist is just baiting that pitfall trap onto itself, although all the damage, almost all the damage went to the Hafru instead.
Yeah, it's not ideal, because Hafru kind of doesn't mind giving up her life to give you a bit of rain. Particularly if it is damage to low power. But I don't see how you bleed here. Like, do you play Venusial next? That feels bad. You can't really play like your Simless or your Waylays here. That's just not set up.
No, we see them offensive Venusial just cleaning the board, but that splits the rows.
Is PepeSmile main decking Skellige Storm? It's not. I don't understand why you split your rows there. That seems like it's just playing into rain unnecessarily. And you're also making your Yavin worse? Are you worried about your, like, Vanadane breaking your front row with these waylays?
It's kind of hard, but well, yeah, as you pointed out, you kind of need to bleed, so he just goes for it, and he gets his Yavin life now, so there is like not much better Yavin you are potentially getting. The Vanadine just produces enough. Would have been nice to play a Vernusel somewhere like about now. It would have been a much better gain on points. So are we seeing Seamless as well? Yavin kills the defender. Defender is not doing much.
PepeSmile's hand here is not good, right?
Yeah,
you have bricked roach, basically a bricked compass. Can you afford to play compass here? I think you could technically. But instead I just see the Fukusha coming out, probably for the Melusine Cultist. Or, okay, just the Axle. Opting just for the pure points then, probably wise, because this Simless could clean up the Melusine Cultist, and does get ahead, right? PepeSmile gets ahead.
Yeah.
But
So keeping 2 cards, but yeah, there is okay, a bit of a point lost there with was there? Yeah, I think one of the dead eyes spawned onto the melee, stealing points.
So I guess this is why Gandalf put more elves on the back row originally, because yeah, you're playing into rain, which doesn't feel great, but if you're planning on playing all the waylays and the Simless, then it's worthwhile. You see the magic compass coming down to actually get a messenger of the sea. Now this rain, you're basically double dipping for the value here. And also, Gandalf should know that there's a bricked roach in hand, right?
Yeah, well, there is no shuffling it back and playing it out as a surprise later on. So he knows that. We're gonna see the point slam roach, because well,
it's probably a finisher in this round. I think we're gonna see.
Do have to play all 3 cards. You need 23. You Mega Scope and Leader Charge immediately. Do you need both leaders? That might be unnecessary.
Can you just
wait?
can get out with...
Yeah, you can get with the roach, and since the compass is coming back, you actually get the roach thinning in round 3.
Yeah. Not too shabby. And I think Bride of the Sea can basically just play anything you like. Crow's Eye Rhizome should be enough.
I'm wed to no man. This man.
Yes,
Very nice.
So, okay, that was overestimated that all 3 cards need to be played, but yeah, elves are not having the best of days.
No. So what do you reckon you should go for here with the compass? You can't go for Kusha because that's a main deck card. You're gonna go
Yes.
for like a full mar, or is the round too short for a full mar to be worthwhile?
I don't think...
Maybe if you see Noxenfurt Scholar, you'll take a tier.
Yeah, I don't think you can go for the full mar because there is just not enough board presence. Yeah, the round 3 heist. Let's go. The incredible points available.
This is a 0-point heist, right?
Yes, and yeah, the chat is already screaming can be. It can be because, but it doesn't matter with the compass active.
Yeah,
What to go for because your opponent is having absolutely nightmarish experience here.
Yeah, you play this trap this turn, so you actually can do something with the Riordan on deploy, but then you can't target it with the cargo. Or you play the Riordan first, you can actually get a chance to use the cargo. But yeah, it is the can be. You take it this turn because you know it's just a guaranteed win.
Look,
Completely
but
safe.
the trap tries to tip the scales, but not by enough. Okay, so I can be win. Chat should be happy. Everyone watching on YouTube later will be happy as well because they got to see the Cambi. And nothing is better than that. So, a decider. Well, quite the series. And elves are at it again. Yesterday Mystical was struggling with getting the elves through, if I'm not mistaken.
I think, but there is a Hux. And if the Hux is able to snipe a Simulus, then
fairy tales long ago.
yeah, that could be a problem.
Okay, we don't see. Alert, we don't see a Seamless in hand, and there is a Quax axis already with an Aeromancy. Alert, I repeat, Seamless is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, there's one more mulligan.
Yes.
One more mulligan.
And this is not a Seamless.
Nope. So the highest provision carding deck is Simless. So now the Vanadane doesn't really matter anymore because the Simless is going to be pulled out by the Huarhux. You couldn't be getting a much better Hux than that. So yeah.
Okay. Bam! 24, Regis on a horse against a 2-point Seamless, bringing no help whatsoever, no waylay, no nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Gandalf now will just be trying to develop the Angus as much as he can. Did actually mulligan the second Sappers, I believe, but does have at least one in hand. But even if you get like a 6 power Deadeyes or something here, I don't think it's gonna be enough to outpoint these knights in a long round.
What is it?
But we'll see how this develops. PepeSmile, just to secure the round win, commits the Immortals Damned Sorceress combo. You definitely do. We will be seeing PepeSmile use this Cursed Knight at some point. The question is just how long does PepeSmile want to develop his engines for before securing this 20 power bronze? And that answer is right now.
Yeah, no waiting. Pepe decided not to click the tome there before, but he has Lady of the Lake, so if he needs Amphibious Assault, he can reach that with the Lady of the Lake instead.
And I mean, you could also just tempo pass here, to be honest.
Is there any
Regis is pretty
reason?
good tempo.
Is there any reason for that though? Don't you just play your bronzes? You have your AA, you have Scenario and Maiden's Shield in your hand, so you can play 2 more cards and see how that goes. Although...
I mean, I think you're basically fine no matter the path you go for here. It's very, very difficult for Gandalf to contest the round here. And playing these sappers to get the anger set up, it's low carryover right now. The question is if there was like a deception or like, well, you do have this Riordan in hand, which can play for a lot of points. You could maybe pull like a sappers and a deception here if you really want to try to win the round.
Yeah, that's what we are seeing most likely. Good call. And you want the token... no, goes for Neophyte instead.
Yeah, so maybe just thinking you need to greed. You can't afford to greed the carryover here. You need to save this last cargo to replay the Angus to actually have points on board to actually
replay
catch
the
up. Because if you give the Knights,
I guess,
yeah, if you give the Knights the round win, I don't think you can afford to do that and let them have their way with you. I am a little critical of PepeSmile's placement here. I don't see any reason to have placed the Damned Sorceress on the back row. It should have gone next to the Immortals, so you could have played the Knight Errant in between the Immortals and the Shield, the Damned Sorceress, and immediately get it to have the Grace with the tactical advantage being played on the Knight Errant. That would have just allowed you to have like a handful more points here and just force Gandalf out of the round even quicker.
Okay, so Elsa sticking around here.
Is that a visual bug? Was that trap played face up for some reason?
I think first trap you don't see what it is, and all the subsequent traps are showing.
I thought Serpent Trap also does get played face down. Maybe it's just the ones with timers get played face up.
Yeah, that might be also. Not well versed in the client's works, but it has some funny things with the traps.
Yeah, but you do finally see the Grace coming through on the Knight Errant. It gets the infusion, but the Crushing Trap kind of just backfires anyways and pops the shield. So very nicely set up there from PepeSmile, and this is where it gets awkward because you have one more board space for Gandalf here. But I don't think Pepe wants to play another card.
Yeah, so the pass it is. So, how many points is this? Isengrim, the counting is happening.
Yeah, you can get 6 points from the flip here.
Okay, that should be 1, 2, 8. Yeah,
Yeah,
should be enough by not a good margin considering there is still engine on the opposite side of the board, but yeah, 5 points. So manages to buff his tokens to keep Verno and Isengrim.
Yeah, I think this
is...
is...
not Isengrim, sorry. The Yavin.
Yeah. Probably best case scenario for Gandalf after the Simulus got milled out. I wonder, like, if you keep the highest tier, do you keep the Vanadane? Vanadane can be quite awkward because it forces you to put 2 of your cards back, and when you have 3 other golds in such a small hand, it's not ideal. But yeah.
Well, you can choose
Might
to
just
mulligan 1 waylay back into the deck, right?
Yeah, it might end up just being a waylay finisher here, essentially, to allow you to replay the Verno and the Yavin.
So do you go scenario? No. You do get a sense that
the-
your opponent is playing after the Carcass land, but then trading scenario just purely for the Carcass doesn't feel like good enough.
Welcome here.
Yeah, you at least like get the Vanadane out. Vanadane is still pretty scary just because it draws spawns additional Deadeyes, and the Angus did get quite a good amount of carryover. Like this short round is really where Elves is gonna be able to shine because the Deadeyes are gonna be absolutely humongous.
I'll show you.
No!
PepeSmile just develops the carryover.
Yeah.
Just I'm surprised we didn't click the Squire before the Vandergrift.
Traitors.
Particularly because no, there's one more Purify that maybe you're worried about.
Okay.
Just keep in mind there
finally-
is a verification on this in Gandalf's deck here, and maybe Pepe's a little worried about playing around with that in terms of the scenario. But the problem is verification would be like a -6 tempo anyways.
Okay, so scenario finally lands. The knights forced out of it. Gandalf has his leader with huge tokens, but after playing cargo, you're probably just decided not to stop here. And one of the engines is getting answered as well. Okay. A lot of hidden points here for the scenario though.
Yeah, so I expect you. What Pepe is probably thinking here is you'll want to maximize the from the bold in value, and that probably is done by infusing the Vandergrift and then using an Aeromancy for say a Mad Charge or something here. And that allows you to actually use, you infuse the Vandergrift, your leader probably is at least 3, you get the Grace. Yeah, so actually, yeah, using the infusion with the main shield here is very nice, because it just allows you to get it over the edge a bit easier, you even get ahead here. So, is Gandhi on a full commit to try and catch up?
What does he have? He has 18-point leader carrying over, but other than that, basically nothing outside of the Scholar being the most broken card available.
Yeah.
Here you
But
can behave in. I don't know.
Remember though that there we saw the huge timber from the Regis round 1, and the nice thing about transforming it is there's still this necromancy floating around in PepeSmile's deck, and it's very likely that it will be drawn as well.
Was there ever a consideration? And he tries to win it, so I don't think there was.
Yeah, I think
To just
yeah, you
break
have
the
to
shield
push
with melee, so all in, all in.
all in.
One Carcass sadly has no purpose, no benefit from gargling the Vanadane.
Yeah, and this Bronwyn infusion is going to absolutely pop off here with the Vandergrift. Actually, the Cursed Knight on the deploy here is going to have a bit of a downside because you're probably going to be forced to transform the Bronwyn, the Maiden's Shield here. But Vandergrift getting a lot of value.
Yeah. So this is a doomed Oniro. You kind of want your necromancy for the next round.
Yeah, could the leader have not been used? I think. Did PepeSmile have a chance to use leader before using the mad charge from the scenario?
Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah.
Because you would have still, well, A, had it to be, be used next round because you would have had to use it anyways.
Yeah, that was.
And I'm not doing maths right now, but I would be expecting these players to be doing maths, especially with their tournament life on the line in this game 5.
Okay, so as we talked about, yeah, we have the hero in Oxenford Scholar, and we are missing the Necromancy. So a 20-point threat hiding somewhere in the deck.
Yeah, like it sucks to miss the necromancy. However, okay, Gandhi does draw the pitfall traps. This, oh no, didn't actually get rid of the verification. Had a bit of a visual bug there. But the fact that the infusion from the Bronwyn and the Bold carries over onto the Vandergrift is very important because this Mad Charge immediately plays for 10 plus points.
So knowing that this is the last trap, there was no risk of no reason not to go for the bronze before using an AA. And yeah, when there is a even if there is a point slam card in Gandalf's hand, Waylay, Amphibious Assault is still pretty darn good card to be playing, and even if its popularity has dropped. And elves are not getting any favors from Gandalf in the coming days.
Absolutely swept under the rug. Very well played to both players there. Gandalf gave us a very, very strong start, particularly with quite a bit of flair in the Cultists game as well. Some unfortunate draws at times and a couple tough matchups into these very engine-heavy lists meant that the elves were not able to get across the line. But yeah, very well played though from PepeSmile, knowing the win conditions and playing very well around the elves, answering the key threats at the right times, and also developing his own board. And in particular, I thought played very well around the threat of serpent traps in a couple of those games.
Yeah,